Good evening. Today we should be making a whiskey smoker. A whiskey smoker makes one's whiskey all lovely and smoky, and also makes a very good gift. Cheers! So here's how we use a whiskey smoker. You can also use these for cocktails as well. First of all, you need your smoker that I'm going to show you how to make. You need your whiskey, of course. In here I've got some apple wood chips that I've bought online, and I'll show you where you can get those in the show notes. And you're going to need something to burn them with. First of all, we put some chips into the smoker. We don't need very many. We then place our smoker over the top, light our torch, and as you can see, the smoke drops down into the glass. This coats the drink and the ice in oils and is supposed to give a nicer flavour to the whiskey. Cheers! It also looks cool. So what I've found in my workshop is a lovely little piece of oak. I wasn't really sure what to do with it, but I'm glad I didn't throw it away. This will be the perfect size. I've just got to trim off this knot here, and then I can make the smoker from the remaining piece. Let's get started. So my joint has returned from the repairs at last, and this is actually going to be the first time I've used it since I've brought it back. So hopefully it all works beautifully. Let's see how it goes. Well, that certainly sounds a lot smoother, definitely. And it's also got new blades, so it's cut this very nicely. Quite pleased with that. Let's get on and do the edges. So the faces are right angled and parallel, and the edges are right angled and parallel, but the two sides aren't at right angles, so I'm going to use my mitre saw to cut those. Now that I've done that, I'm just going to curve the corners to make it a little bit nicer. Just use whatever you've got to hand for a curve. And take this to the sander. Okay, so we've got all the edges rounded over nicely now. It would have been a bit quicker, I think, if I'd actually used a saw just to sort of chop off those corners and then just use the sander for the finishing off, but we got there in the end. Next, I'm going to use a round over bit with my router to just smooth over these edges, and then we can start working on the holes in the middle. Because this is quite small, I'm going to hold it in place on the table with some double-sided tape. So next I'm going to find the centre. Now I made a little bit of a mistake here. I should have done this before I curved over the corners, because it's making it slightly harder to find the exact centre, just marking corner to corner. So I will just double check it afterwards to see that I am in the centre, but that shouldn't be far off. It should be okay. So we're going to have 3 holes. We're going to have one hole that goes all the way through. That will be quite narrow at 15mm. The next hole is going to be 20mm, and that's going to hold one of these silver screens. These come in little packs of 5 meshes, and these we will put in so that the wood shavings don't fall through into your drink. It's nice that they come in packs of 5, because you could give spares when you sell them, if I sell them. I'll put a link in the show notes where I got these on Amazon. I don't make any money from these, by the way. I'm far too small, far too small a channel to do that, but hopefully it will help you anyway. Then the final hole is going to be 40mm, and that's going to be what we put all the little wood shavings in. So, on to the drill press. So my first hole is going to be the larger hole that we're going to put the wood shavings in, and that's 40mm. And I want to go down 10mm into the wood. So I'm just going to set my drill up. And then I'm going to bring it down into the wood and then press the 0 button on the drill. One thing you need to do when you're doing this is you've got to take an account of the point here. You can't bring it down to the wood and stop when it just touches the wood, because we want the main blades to be at 10mm. So you need to bring it down and then press it into the wood so that the main blades are level with the wood. So you make an indent. And it's here that I'm going to set it to 0. So now I need to set the speed. This is a 40mm Forstner bit, so according to my chart we should be running at 250 RPM into hardwood. Now I don't want to move that because I want to carry on dead center with my next bit. So I'm going to take this out. And put in a 20mm, so this is for the mesh. And again, I want to go down 10mm, so I'm going to actually just keep the depth setting as it is. I don't need to reset it because I went down 10 the first time, so I'll just go down to 20 this time. For 20, I want to have it set to 500, so we'll just set the speed. And off we go. Whilst I was doing that, I realised that actually this hole doesn't need to be very deep, so I actually stopped short. It really only needs to be deep enough to put the little mesh in. But the next hole, we do want to go all the way through. I'm just going to go in by 2mm to an 18mm bit because we want plenty of hole for the smoke to pass through. And we want the same speed for this drill bit as well. And that's worked out quite nicely. I just need to sand around this edge to smooth it over, and the same for the underneath. And then just give it a light finish. Right, I'm just going to finish this off with a drop of mineral oil. I'm not going to put it all the way in to the hole because it might affect the smoke, I suppose. I'm not sure. So I'll leave that bit as it is. And now I can add one of these little screens as well. And so there we have it, one whiskey smoker. And for good measure, I decided to make a little box as well to put the chips in. I think this will make a really good gift for Christmas. So I'm going to make some more, I think, and try selling them at my local village fair at Christmas time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this, and maybe we'll have a go at making one yourself. Cheers for now. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons.